Cancer season is asking you to stop thinking and start feeling. This season isn't about becoming more emotional, it's about becoming more honest because feelings don't show up to ruin your day, they show up to tell us something. And with Mercury retrograde moving through Cancer almost this entire season, the stories you have been telling yourself are coming up for review. Welcome back to Beauty by Design. If Gemini was the mind, Cancer is your home base of the body. So, just beginning with the energy of Cancer itself, Cancer is cardinal water. This is the first water sign of the zodiac. And it's the moment we stop analyzing experience and start feeling it. The sign is often described as nurturing, mothering, protective, and yes, it is. But what Cancer is really concerned with is safety. What helps you feel safe, what doesn't. What belongs inside your world, what doesn't. Because Cancer rules the home, the emotional body, memory, the past, our need for belonging. This season brings us to that place that's saying, what are you carrying emotionally that no longer belongs in the present? Because Cancer doesn't just hold feelings, it stores them. The issues are in the tissues. So, going through the gates that the sun travels through during Cancer season, we're going to use my intuitive beauty oracle cards, Beauty by Design, to visualize where in the body, where in the human design system is the sun, the brightest spot in our charts, in the sky, the solar system, as it travels through and it lights up and activates these places. So, Cancer season kicks off with gate 15, the love of humanity. We enter Cancer. This is a bridge gate. If you'll remember from the Gemini episode, we move through this at the summer solstice. This is the gate of extremes, the gate of humanity, vast experiences, having the capacity to understand the full spectrum of the human experience and understanding that being human means moving through the good days, the bad days, periods of expansion, periods of retreat. This energy reminds us that healing is not linear, it's rhythmic. And it's about this ability to hold space and love everyone. As you will notice, that is based in the G center. It is one of the transcendent love gates in design. And from there, the sun enters into gate 52, which is stillness. This energy teaches us something that most people resist. Stillness is productive. It isn't about doing more. It's about becoming so focused that you can hear yourself. You can understand your reaction. It's about dialing into what actually matters to you. And before you can properly feel, you need to slow down. When we go too fast, we actually miss so much. So while the root is about pressure and drive and momentum, this is that energy that is about coming back to home base, getting rooted. From there, the sun moves into gate 39, which is about provocation. This is where things get interesting because this energy pokes an emotional reaction. It irritates, it triggers, but not randomly. It reveals where something still needs attention. People, situations, memories, emotions that maybe bother you a lot right now. They're probably showing you exactly where more healing wants to happen. Maybe think of this as like the little grain of sand that eventually results in a pearl. Again, root energy pushing us to provoke. That grain of sand results in something, some sort of outcome. And then we continue in the root. This is gate 53, the gate of beginnings. It's a new cycle, a fresh chapter, an energy of initiation. And the fact that this is Cancer reminds us we don't need to rush to start something new until we have honored what we are leaving behind, essentially till we've honored our past. And then moving up to the throat to gate 62, the gate of details. This is the organizer, the gate that gives language to experience. This becomes especially important during Mercury retrograde because the stories that you've been telling yourself matter. Are they even accurate? Is the information coming from an objective and factual place? It's just something to consider. And then ending Cancer season, we arrive at the storyteller. This is where we land, where experience becomes wisdom. This ability to take everything that you've lived through and tell a better story about it. Not a false story, but a more complete and colorful and entertaining one. So when we look at this progression, we're moving from humanity to a place of stillness, to provocation, to new beginnings, to understanding, to storytelling about the whole process. So this season isn't asking you to fix yourself, it's asking you to understand and have more compassion for yourself. And now, of course, moving into our beauty and ritual, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Everything becomes softer during this season, more receptive, more sensory, more intuitive. This is a beautiful season to focus on hydration, barrier repair, facial massage, especially bathing rituals, sleep, comfort, textures, slow beauty. Think cool creams, milky cleansers, silk pillowcases, long tepid baths, cool linen robes, skin that feels nourished rather than overly corrected. Cancer isn't an aggressive energy, it restores, it comforts. So I'm thinking some sort of cool milky bath, especially during the various heat waves. We're going through one in the UK right now. And let me tell you, Europe is not equipped for extreme heat. Moving on to the transits of Cancer season. So we actually begin with the Capricorn full moon. That is the opposite sign of Cancer, and it's going to occur in gate 58. So again, a lot of root energy during this time period. This is happening on June 29th, depending on where in the world you live. And this is about the tension between achievement and fulfillment. And this moon asks, what would make my life feel better? Not look better, but feel better. So we're going to go to the guidebook and read about 58 for our beauty and self-care rituals. So this card arrives with a pulse of happiness and excitement. It is a reminder that joy is not passive. So when this energy shows up, in the case of a full moon, you are being invited to engage with life and to improve it not from dissatisfaction, but from devotion. Your mantra here at this full moon is I improve life out of love. And a question for you would be, where am I trying to fix something that simply needs appreciation instead? So beauty and self-care for this, you can support this energy through practices that build vitality rather than chase perfection. Try joyful movement like rebounding, disco dance breaks, or play-based exercise that feels energizing, not punishing. A little ritual purely for pleasure. A new teacup, better lighting, freshly laundered sheets or towels, many upgrades that improve the moment. This is about letting joy be practical and embodied. Joy, vitality, and optimism over perfection. Then June 29th, so that same day through July 23rd, it is Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So this is not just reviewing plans, it's reviewing stories about yourself, your past, your relationships, your identity. Notice what memories return. They're returning for a reason. Again, Cancer season is cellular memory. Water stores memory. So we've already reviewed everywhere that the sun is moving, right? And Mercury is going to come back through those gates. So it is going to transit 3 gates during this Mercury retrograde from 62, 53, and 39. 62 is about the details, 53 is about new beginnings or getting started on something, and 39 is that provocation to emote. And then also June 29th, a major shift happens. We're moving from emotional processing to eventually sharing what you've learned. And why is that? Over the next year, the shift will be big, bright, radiant. Jupiter, the planet of luck, abundance, expansion, and blessings, is moving into Leo. And so it will begin in gate 56. What storyteller, what story are you ready to embody? This is all about main character energy. Again, Jupiter will be here for about a year. It's going to move through all the gates of Leo during that time. We will talk about this ongoing as the transit progresses, but it's like this is a big shift from this watery emotional energy to star of the show. Bigger, bolder, brighter is better. And then next, Venus conjuncts the South Node in gate 59. This is on July 10th. So we're looking at old relationship patterns, old intimacy patterns, old ways of connecting. Something familiar may resurface, indicating that it may be time to let go. And then finally, the Cancer new moon, July 14th, gate 62 reappears once more. This is time to get clear, focus on communicating the fine details. Planting new seeds at the new moon, the best thing that we can do is be super clear in our communication, in our writing, our journal prompts, of speaking to the universe, what it is that you want to see get detailed. We're going to go back to the guidebook for 62, get our new moon beauty rituals. So again, we've gone from the full moon at the root to the new moon at the throat. And this moon is about taking a moment to honor the granular without letting it take over the whole picture. Details definitely matter right now when they're in service of understanding, not controlling. So your mantra here is I offer clarity with kindness. And journal prompt is what am I trying to prove right now? And what would happen if I tried to understand instead? So to support this new moon energy, choose practices that calm the nervous system while engaging the mind gently without overstimulation. So again, we're looking at details like a somatic eye relaxation practice to support mental focus. Just taking a long intentional walk where you name 5 small details you've never noticed before, objectively and without judgment. Again, Cancer is wonderful with water and the bath. So a bath with all the little details tended to, I would highly recommend for this new moon and a new beginning. Cancer season is an amazing time to be working with these cards because Cancer is emotional and emotions are often difficult to articulate. Sometimes you don't need more analysis, you need something visual, something symbolic, tactile, something that your subconscious mind can respond to immediately. You pull a card, you notice the color, notice the imagery, notice what your body responds to first. Your nervous system often understands something before your mind does. So again, this Cancer season, we got to feel it to heal it. You got to come home to yourself, feel what you're feeling, listen to what it has to teach you, pull a card and let it land, and let that become the story that you carry forward. The cards are now officially available for purchase at littlefox.miami. And in Europe, you can get them at museandheroine.com. Of course, until next time, have a beautiful day.